Hi, Chris. It's so nice to see you again after the
Nice to see
marketing
you.
event. As you know, I'm Nathan and I'm from Salesforce. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Glad to be here.
Yeah, so does 8 to 10 minutes of your time still work to just talk a little bit about Salesforce and our CRM and some of the benefits it may provide for your company?
For sure. No rush.
Okay, perfect. So before we begin, I just want to double check. Are you like the current decision maker when it comes to finances and CRMs and all that?
Yes, with all the CRM stuff, I'm handling that, and I wanted to hear it straight from the horse's mouth, so I'm here for it. So
Okay,
yeah,
awesome. Well,
that
hopefully you'll
decision's
have all
really
the
me.
information you need. um, so can you, before we begin, also can you just tell me a little bit about Lennox and the company as a whole?
Yeah, so we do a lot of climate control solutions here. We have around 10,000 employees at the moment, and they're in countries all over the world, so we're very spread out.
Okay.
So that was one big appeal to us, was we're like at this point where we really want a CRM that's cohesive and can keep everyone on task.
Okay, so what current CRM do you use?
I don't even know if you can call it a CRM right now. Right now we use Excel for basically all our data entry from all our employees. So the way it works right now is we have every single employee logs their own data at the end of the day. It's pretty time consuming, but then they log all that information and we upload it to like one master file that we can all access after everyone's updated everything.
Okay, can you go a little bit more in depth into like that process of employees uploading the data? Like when
Sure.
exactly does that happen, all at the same time, and how long does it take?
Yeah, usually we ask before they clock out to have all their information logged for the day. So most employees will wait until the end of the day, about that last hour, and get all their information logged. Obviously, that's an hour we'd like to be spent differently, but right now it just takes so much time. And the big problem with that too is that until every employee has logged their information, like we don't have an accurate real-time view of everyone and what they're up to. We have to kind of wait for everything to get uploaded correctly. So that can lead to some problems where what one employee is seeing and the data that they can view is different than what another one can see and what they can view.
Yeah, real-time updating is definitely huge. I can see how not having that would cause some issues internally in the company. And then with COVID, does that further complicate things? Like, do you have everybody in the office or is it split?
Yeah, so right now we've got a bunch of employees who are out of the office, which means the communication's even more difficult. It's more difficult to follow up with other salespeople and keep track of what everyone's doing. So we're even more reliant now on the Excel information, and with it being sometimes inaccurate, we're getting more errors. So it's becoming a little bit of a problem spot for us for sure.
Okay, yeah, I could definitely see how that would be an issue. So we talked a little bit about some of the drawbacks of Excel. What are some of the benefits of what drew your company initially to using it?
The main benefits for us was that it's pretty inexpensive, and basically everyone has at least some exposure to using Excel, so it was very easy to kind of get everyone trained and onboarded with it. Obviously, if we were to switch to a CRM, I understand that it's not going to be, because of the features that they can offer, it's not going to be as cheap or as instantly recognizable to all our employees, but we want something that still is like accessible and easy to learn and intuitive, feeling like Excel is.
Okay, for sure. And then what are some of the other like cons? I know you talked a little bit about this, but what are some more cons of Excel?
One other really big one that's been pointed out to me more recently is the security side of this whole thing, because right now with every employee all over the place and them kind of personally handling the data that they're going to upload, that leaves a lot of like vulnerable spots where we could have a security breach or something like that. So that's something we want to address, something that's hosted more local, or it's not hosted locally and hosted somewhere else, that we don't have all our employees handling kind of more sensitive data like that. And also Excel can just be a little buggy at times. That would be fine if like there was a better support system with Microsoft, but that's pretty bare bones as well, so that can lead to some problems down the line as well for us.
So if you do face issues, how often or how long does it take for Microsoft to get back to you typically?
It usually takes anywhere from a day to 3 days. It's kind of like all over the place, and that's the big problem, is like by the time that problem they get back to us, we've either solved the problem just by troubleshooting it, or the time to fix that problem has already passed. So we definitely are looking for something that has like a better customer support service as well.
Oh yeah, I feel like for software like this, it's either if they get back to you in 2 or 3 hours or less, or it just doesn't matter at that point if it's anything longer than that. Okay, awesome. And then you mentioned a little bit about some communication issues earlier that you have with employees working from home and working in the office.
Yeah.
So does that ever lead to customers being like double contacted by different employees?
Yes. When different salespeople's information that they can access doesn't reflect one of those. We get lots of situations where two salespeople will reach out to the same prospect, and it just doesn't look professional or coordinated on our end when we've got two different people making the same exact phone call. It just makes things look a little unprofessional. So we definitely run into that more than we'd like to. Optimally, we want to never run into that. And with it being such a simple, the cause for that problem is simply that lack of real-time access. So it's something that if it's that easy to address and it's not a training problem, like we want to get that fixed.
Okay, so about like how often would you say that this double contacting happens, and how big of a deal overall would you say that is for your company right now?
Like I said, more often than we'd like it to. There's definitely a lot of times where that information is not accurate, and so anytime we lose a sale, it's like one we don't want to, especially if it's from like a simple mistake like that.
Okay. And then you also mentioned earlier that your employees spend a lot of time at the end of the day inputting that data. And I know you mentioned it's like not that long, usually only about an hour. But if all of the employees had that extra hour in the day, how big do you think that would be for your company?
Well, it's the thing, like I said, we have like 10,000 employees, so each of them spending 1 hour, that's a lot of hours, you know? So anything we can do to kind of make that process something that they can do just throughout the day, quick and easy, as opposed to like this huge chunk of their day, that would allow them to be a lot more productive and keep everyone like more in tune with what's going on.
Yeah, I definitely see how having that extra time is massive. I know that just any extra time to talk to customers, build trust, or sell to them is absolutely huge for sales. So that definitely makes a lot of sense. So overall, what would you say your top 3 features that you would look for in a new CRM service would be?
Top 3 would definitely be access to real-time information for sure. Hopefully something more secure than what the current system that we work with right now. And definitely something that's accessible and easy to kind of switch to. Because we, like you were saying, I mean, like time is money, all these hours that we're spending trying to just solve these simple problems. We don't want to have a huge time, like downtime where we're having to onboard everyone onto this system. So we want something that is accessible and relatively easy to learn.
Okay, perfect. So basically it sounds like your main issues that you're having with Excel that you would like to upgrade and have solved with the new CRM system are, of course, the security, as you mentioned, the accessibility, where you want it to be something that's easy to learn, easy to teach employees, and a smooth turnover where you're switching from these systems. And then also the real-time data tracking is huge. That's obviously massively important for a CRM, as I'm well aware. So would you say that that's accurate, that those are like your main points that you're sort of looking for when it comes to switching?
Sounds like you hit the nail on the head with that.
Okay, perfect. Well, Salesforce sounds like it would be a great fit for your company. It has all of these features and more. So if you're available, I would love to take some time to sit down and give you a presentation about further information regarding the CRM software.
For sure, yeah. Does maybe same time next week work for you?
Yes, that actually works perfect.
Okay, fantastic, yeah. I'd love to.
Here's my business card if we need to keep in touch between then.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was so nice sitting down with you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate it.